Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill Dewit.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill, and this is the Jack and Jill Show 2. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWitt.
Hi.
Welcome to the show today. In this episode, Jill and I talk about land investing. Is it passive income or not? Let's get to the bottom of that today. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Okay. Jason asked, I'm talking with a man who owns a 3,015-acre ranch in Edwards County, Texas. Land in this area is listed for $1,650 per acre. Oh, these are big numbers. I like these.
Yeah.
This could be a big deal, but I'm not sure how to handle it. I'm thinking about proposing an option agreement for each section of the ranch that is divided up by 5 different APNs.
That's really good.
And market each of the 600-acre ranches separately. I'm not sure what price will sell fast on such big properties. Any advice is appreciated.
These are great deals. I love these kinds of deals. These are the things that at this point in our career, Jill and I look for all the time. And 3,000 acres cut up into 5 APNs is a great situation to be in, especially if they're all contiguous, because you're either going to find somebody who wants to buy it all. You're doubling your chances of selling this property if it's already cut up. Find somebody who wants to buy it all, or maybe find somebody who wants to buy just one of the sections. A section technically is 640 acres, or 1 mile by 1 mile. And we're going to assume that it's got pretty good access. In fact, maybe, I'm sure, well, not sure, but it'd be hard to go 3,000 acres without finding a county road somewhere.
I'm doing the math. It's $1 million, by the way, each of these.
Yeah, so $1,600. The price per acres really widely vary based on size. So when you say an acre goes for $1,650, I bet it's not the same price for 1 acre, 5 acres, 20 acres, 640 acres, or 3,000 acres.
Right.
In general, the larger the property, the cheaper the price per acre, which is what you want.
Exactly.
That works in our favor. You want to get a low price per acre on buying a lot of property and then subdivide it or split it down
and sell it for more.
It's called the case to bottle method. You know, if you buy a case of beer and it's let's for sake of argument it's $24, 24 in a case, and you sell them for $3 a beer, you're tripling your money, and that's the same idea here. We need to talk to an expert about this because you don't want to make a mistake.
Yep. The
real money, and if this isn't in an unincorporated area, which I bet it is in this county, Texas law, the state law, governs that you can subdivide it. And you might have to jump through some county hoops, but I'm telling you, I mean, people retire on one deal like this. If you buy it for 300 acre and sell it for 5,000 an acre when you got it all split down and there's roads to every property and stuff,
right.
That's millions and millions and millions of dollars. You could spend the next 10 years of your life doing this deal and getting incredibly rewarded. So, and that's one of the reasons Jill and I chose this question. We get a ton of questions, and this is a really good one.
Yep, I love it. If you have a question or you want to be on the show, reach out to either one of us on landinvestors.com.
Today's topic, land investing, passive income or not. This is the meat of the show.
Why'd you pick this one, Jack?
Because I don't I think like scaling, and there's a few concepts in business that the titles get thrown around and it becomes somewhat of a wives' tale, so to speak. You know, it's just, I hear people talking about passive income and they're throwing that term around, and it's not what they're talking about at all. And I don't like it. I don't like passive. I think calling what we do passive income is, it could be construed as that, but I just go ahead, Joe. There's 3 types of income, right?
Well, what I was reading earlier, it was funny because this topic came up, and I said, you know what? I was just watching something that Grant Cardone was doing on Facebook, and he was talking about 3 different types of income. And one, he said, there's earned, like W-2, portfolio, and then passive. And I'm like, because I was just, here comes this passive income term again. I'm actually getting sick of it. It's really
I'm
where I
sick of
was
it too.
going.
Thank you, Jill.
I'm like,
I am too.
Jeez, you know what? Because let's all be honest. You had to work to make it passive. So is it really truly passive?
Well, the root of the three types of income is because they're all different, taxed differently.
Right. Okay.
I mean, so rental income is a classic example for passive income, and that's technically how it's taxed.
Right.
If you've ever had a rental property, are you hands off or not?
Right.
No way, man. You are never hands off on a rental property. I don't care. Mm-hmm. You might have a manager in between. There's some stuff that goes on, but you end up hearing about it. Mm-hmm. You know, renting is not for me and Joe. We've tried it.
Right.
Every time we get a rental property going, we just we end up selling it for 3 times what we paid and just getting out of it and moving on.
Exactly.
So, you know, passive income. Here's what I think passive income would be: buy a property, pave it, make it into a parking lot, find a parking lot operator, and do a triple net lease where the operator gives you a certain amount of money every month, and then whatever he makes on top of that, he keeps for himself. Hopefully it's more than you. Mm-hmm. And he stays there forever. That's my definition of passive income, and I think that the IRS would agree.
Yep.
So what about us? You know, we buy this land, and we sell it on terms, or we sell it for cash. Is that passive income? I don't think so.
But based on... I was waiting for you to say.
Accountants have different, you know, if it's in a limited partnership, then it probably is.
Right.
It might be, but I really would argue this is actual income. This is your day-to-day, I do this for a living, ordinary income.
Right.
So the accountants all over turn off the radio.
Okay, Jack, I have a question for you. I'm going to get, this is inspirational. What is the big deal? You know, I feel like if people just want to walk around and say they have passive income when they're not really sure what it is, and they're like trying to achieve it. Why is this such a big hot topic right now? Do you have any idea? I'm
really
curious.
Don't.
Okay.
I think that, I have an idea.
Okay.
If you just go on type passive income in Google, there's people that are going to get pulled up like Pat Flynn and Grant Cardone and all that stuff.
Right.
You know, and they talk about it because I think, you know, people don't like their jobs.
Oh.
And that, you know, if you start your search to replace your job, and you know, passive income is going to smack you in the face 20 times. Mm-hmm. So the idea of passive income, which I think is like making side income. All right, now let's talk about that.
Right.
But passive income implies to me like you're passive and you just don't want to work.
You don't do anything.
And I just don't think that ever really, nothing good comes from doing nothing.
That's true.
You know?
I agree. I just think the term, it bugs me. It's overused. I don't think people really understand, and it really isn't passive in the end.
Here's what people should want instead of passive income.
Right.
Scalable income. So the best example of scalability is publishing. You write a book, and then you promote it. You could sell it 1,000 times, or you could sell it 17 million times, and the work is the same.
I like that.
That is scalable. What else is scalable? Software. Windows 10 was written once at an expense of X. And how many copies do they sell a day of that thing? So software's passive income. Software as a service is a fantastic business model where you just put up a website that people pay a subscription for or whatever. Jill and I have tons of those. Mm-hmm. Education in general is basically scalable income. So let's think about an online school of any kind, like a high school. You have a teacher teaching it, and it's all self-taught. There's no bricks and mortar school. 30 people might be in the class. 3 million people might be in the class.
Well, it's the same curriculum every semester too.
Exactly.
So you just keep repeating. You don't have to rewrite it every time.
That's right.
Algebra is still algebra.
That's right. So, I mean, you might have to hire a couple more teachers or teaching assistants if you get tons of people in any given class to give them the attention they need and to keep your accreditation and stuff. So passive income is not the buzzword. Scalability is. And if you ever watch Shark Tank, that's all those guys talk about.
It's true. You know what's funny? Think about that one. They never use this word. They don't throw this term around.
You're
That's
right.
not
I've
their
never
thing.
heard that on the show.
Never.
Those guys are billionaires.
They work. They're out there finding deals and making deals and getting stuff done.
I bet they work harder than we do.
I'm sure of it.
It's possible. Yeah, maybe with you.
See that guy? Right there, the ice cream truck works harder than me.
I don't know if that's something you want to brag about on the air.
I'm kidding.
I know.
That's not true, actually, but it was funny. He might. I don't know, but I don't do heavy lifting. But
Here's what you want to avoid, and we're going to lose listeners over this.
Again.
A plumber, a doctor, and a lawyer all get paid the same. They get paid for what I call fee for service. And there's a cap on how much money they can make. A lawyer can only bill, technically, 8 to 10 to 12 hours, however many hours they work in a day, and it's at capacity. A restaurant can only make, if it doesn't have a drive-through, the number of seats and the turnover. You can calculate it.
Right.
You don't want to get into businesses like that.
Well, you have
Ever.
a cap.
You want, where there's just a natural cap on it. That's right.
Exactly.
A doctor can only do so many surgeries or see so many patients a day.
Right.
So those types of businesses are tough. I mean, and a plumber, the same thing. Can you, as a plumber, hire a bunch of plumbers under you and manage them? Yeah, but that's not scalable. That's repeatable. That's what McDonald's is, repeatable. It's not scaling. They don't scale anything.
Right.
McDonald's is a restaurant.
Exactly.
True scalability is fantastic. What about QVC? You manufacture a mop, you go on TV, and you sell 3,000 of them.
I don't
Is
know.
that scalable?
I'm looking to you.
It's not.
Okay.
Because you have a cost of goods sold. Now, it gets a little bit scalable and then cheaper the more you make and all of that. But that's going to end. The party's going to be over with that pretty quickly.
I like this. Where you're going with this?
People only. I think we should do a whole show with the
This is
Jack and Jill show.
Good. Oh, wow.
Because we buy companies, Jill, and we just don't ever talk about it. And we start companies all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's, there's a lot of young people or people out there that need some direction on this. And it's fun to talk about, too,
Yes, I agree.
I think we should do a show called the Jack and Jill Show. And we should talk about all kinds of stuff. And land included. We should talk about land. Land is very profitable.
Right. But we could talk about all the other things that we're doing. That's
so
good.
is land investing passive income? I don't know. Ask your accountant. But is it scalable? No. You're buying a piece of land and you're selling it, and you're over and over and over. You could approach scalability, but technically I don't think it would be if you're a term seller. We have lots of members who buy a piece of property for $5,000. They sell it for $25,000 with $500 down and $100 a month, and they have hordes of money coming in every month. That probably, in the eyes of the IRS, is scalable. Jill and I are primarily buy it for cash, sell it for cash kind of people on these deals. We get in, we get out, because we don't want to deal with the long term. It's just a personal preference. We don't.
No way's right or wrong. I think they're just different.
That's right. And the truth is, we found more efficient, better ways to make money than selling land on terms. For cash, it's still the greatest thing ever.
I love it. Let's leave that for the next show.
Oh, good. Okay.
Cool.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me,
And inspiration, that's me.
just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
That's pretty deep, Jack. I like that.
I love, buying and selling companies and starting new companies in software and publishing. And it just, I don't want to sound altruistic, but it's not only are we doing it for the money. I mean, every week you see the emails. Thank you so much, Jack.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Jill. This is changing my life.
Yeah, exactly.
How many refunds have we done since for
I could
Land
count 'em on
Academy
one
specifically?
hand.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And how many
It's just
sold?
usually people that they're like, that's the wrong time in my life. After they get into it, they're like, I just can't devote the time I need.
I've
to it.
never
I
heard anyone
understand.
say, this is not, what the information that you guys have sold me is not valuable.
Right.
I've never heard anyone say, it's really just scratching the surface. It's not detailed enough.
That's
Have
for sure.
you-
No,
any of you
that's
seen
the
it?
opposite. No. Nope. It's good.
Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We're the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land,
for half price just so we can flip it for way more.
and really fast. Thanks for listening.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.